make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't tryna grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't tryna link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record, yeah. For the record, yeah. For the record, yeah. For the record, for the record, yeah. For the record. Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price for y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. Frozen. A6 all the hate. I won't get involved today. Got lost in the ball and age. I'm flipping the bars. I'm flipping the. On record, off record. I still count wins when they doubt it. On record, off record. I let them take advantage. I was wildin'. On record, off record deals. Tell them talk to Colin for the quote. On record, off record. I still want the act, not the ghost. That's a joke. Tell them laugh. Uncle Sam, got the bag. Brody plot, we'll get a whack. Contract, give me the max. I got lab on my back. You ain't that, then it's raps. Whoa, 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 whoa. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable.
Here we go. Good morning everyone and welcome to another one. What a beautiful sunny day today. Windy as heck. I mean really windy. But anyway, welcome to the long-term review of the Yamaha Xmax 400. Yeah, I'm gonna go through a few things. I've had this bike for almost 1,000 miles now, which is around almost 1,600 kilometers. Had it for a while, had some time to put it through its paces. I rode the bike in town. Let me do, okay, better. Super windy. Got the bike, put the bike through its paces in town, on the motorway. I've done some filtering. Yeah, I've got a few things I want to share with you. I'm gonna start it off with the performance of the bike, if you want to call it that, of the scooter. Now, from a performance standpoint, like engine-wise and how quickly it pulls off and top speed and all of that, I think it's more than what you need on a daily basis. Motorway-wise, I don't know, it does about, I don't know, it can go up to about 95, 100 miles an hour from what I've heard, not that I've tested it. So yeah, motorway-wise, it does get up to about 95, 100 miles an hour cruising speed, which is not that bad. Not that I've tested it, not that I've done that, but from a consumption perspective, I'm gonna compare this. Ooh, I'm getting fogged up. I'm gonna compare it to the, what you call it? I'm gonna compare it to the MT-09. So the MT-09 usually does about half the mileage that I managed to do with the Xmax. So if with the MT-09 I have to top it up with petrol every day on my commute, this one I had to do it every other day. So I get about 2 days worth of petrol out of this one, while at the same time I get half of that with the MT-09. So yeah, from a consumption perspective, it's really good. If you're looking to save some money, I'd recommend you get on the Xmax. My brother-in-law, he's on a scooter as well. He's got the T-Max, which is bigger, quicker, more powerful and everything else. And he kept going on about for ages about how I should buy a scooter, how it's much better in town than a bike, how it's much more comfortable and everything else. And I was always like, man, once you get on a bike, you'll never get on a scooter. So, I mean, you can never do that. Why would anyone do that? That was before I've ridden a scooter, because the only time I've ridden a scooter was, I think, a couple of years ago for a day or two, and that was about it. This is my second time on a scooter, and I must say he's right. You know, he is right. If you've never tried a scooter, I recommend you try one of these, because they are so comfortable. They are so, I don't know, good on mileage. Power-wise, again, from a power perspective, they're really good, because you get a lot of power out of it in town. I'm talking about in town. On the motorway, again, it keeps up with traffic. It's quicker than your average car and all that, but still, it's not going to be as fast as a bike. Now, it depends what you want to use it for. If you want to use it for commuting, going around town, I don't know, going out for a shop, buying some food and everything else, I'd recommend you buy this one. If you're after high speeds, having fun, I don't know, motorway cruising and everything, yeah, obviously you know the answer to that. You should get a bike. But yeah, from a performance standpoint, you don't really need more than this in town. And even on the motorway, if you're planning to cruise around and not do anything illegal, or you lose your license, again, you can go with this one. It does, I don't know, not to 60, I have no idea. Check the Yamaha website. I'm not going to get into like technical details and all of that, but again, comparing it to my bike, to the MT-09, which is pretty powerful, I would say that this is good enough for what you wanted to do. Now, yeah, acceleration wise, I've had one of these next to me in town. Now, unless I'm going to race them with my MT-09, they're going to keep up. I mean, if I've got like if I'm on a, I don't know, chilled out ride and all of that, if I'm on a chilled out ride, if I'm not planning to race anyone and all that, this Xmax can keep up with my MT-09 easily in town. I mean, if we're just cruising. Now, it's so windy, man, it's blowing me everywhere. If you're, what was I saying? Yeah, so if I'm having a chilled out ride on the MT-09, the Xmax can keep up with me easily. Now, if I'm going to start racing and all that, obviously not. But I don't know, man. It's from a power perspective, it has enough ground to keep up with the bike in town. Again, unless you're racing it. And I don't know, for your daily needs, you won't need more than this. So from a power perspective, from me, it's a pass. Now, from a comfort perspective, this chair is really comfortable, and the fact that I can get my legs up. Don't rear end me, man. So also the fact that I can get my legs up, or I don't know, keep them down here, again, very, very good, because I don't know, on the motorway when you're cruising or even in town, it's very, very comfortable. I've been on it for I think 2 or 3 hours once without stopping, and you know what, it was a lot more comfortable than the MT-09, to be honest. The seat is very comfy. Again, if you've got a passenger on the back, it's very wide, very comfortable. So I don't know, if you're after comfort, this beats probably most bikes comfort wise, to be honest. Again, leaning and all of that, you can do that on this as well. Just handles like a bike, man, handles like a bike. So from a handling perspective, if you're planning to filter, obviously on my MT-09 I can filter a lot better than this one. It's just because it has a slightly wider body. Now the thing that preoccupies me most of the time is the back, and also being so wide I can't reach with my feet down so well. So in case you have to come to a stop and try to slowly filter through some cars that are in traffic, it's going to be a bit more difficult than on a regular motorbike. Again, having a wider back, there's a risk that when you're filtering through lorries, cars and everything else, if you get the bike at a really strange or weird angle, the problem that you might have is that with the back you might start touching, I don't know, lorries, scraping things and all of that. So yeah, I'd recommend you're very, very careful when filtering with it. So against the bike, I don't know, wins every single day. It's a lot better to filter on a bike than on this. I'm not going to say you can't filter on it, because you can. You can filter at low speeds, you can filter when you're going quicker or anything. Even on, I don't know, I filtered with it in town, I filtered it on the motorway, so no problems whatsoever. The only issue is you need to be a bit more careful on it, because you're going to end up hitting people and all that. Obviously, you can't get in where you would get in with the bike, so from my point of view, bike wins on this one, but again, depends what you're after. I'm gonna move on to the other thing, storage. I mean, this bike is fantastic for storage. I had to fly out to Brussels for a meeting and everything, so I dropped the scooter off in the airport in the morning, picked it up in the afternoon, and I don't know, the amount of stuff you can fit into this is amazing. So I had my bag, my travel bag with my laptop and all my documents and everything. It was under the seat, loads of space. Had my bike gear on and all that. Jeez, man, the wind is blowing me away. So had my documents and the laptop and everything else in under the seat. Had my bike gear on me. Once I got to the airport, just took all the bike gear off, chucked it into the scooter. Let me get in here. Thank you. Whoa, slid a bit. So chucked all my bike gear into the scooter. Got my laptop out, got my documents out, my jacket out, put everything on, and moved on, man. It was as easy as that. Yeah, so let me just show you how much stuff you can fit under the chair. And then besides having all the storage space under the chair, you've got storage down in here. So this thing opens up. I don't know, I need to stop and show you. So you've got storage in here. This is locked. You need to open it by pressing the lid button. Once you set the dial on open, then you've got some storage space in here. This one doesn't lock. Then you've got the storage space under the chair. You've got quite a lot of storage space, to be honest, my man. So yeah, if you're looking for practicality, this bike does it all. I mean, it's amazing. This is one of the things why I fell in love with this thing, because you can just pop the chair up, pop a lot of stuff under there, and that's it. You're good to go. No rucksacks, no nothing. On the first day when I had it, I put the rucksack on. I filled it up with loads of stuff that I had to carry around with me, and halfway through it, through my journey, I had to stop and get some petrol. Yeah, halfway through my journey, I had to stop and get some petrol, and I stopped at the petrol station, take my bag off, and I realized, why am I carrying this on my back? So I just put it under the chair, but I think it was just because I was, I don't know, used to having everything in my backpack. And that's why I've done it. But yeah, it's so freaking comfortable being on this thing, because you get so much storage space. It's unbelievable. From a price perspective, yes, it's not cheap. It's not going to run you. It's not going to cost you like 2,000 or 3,000 pounds or dollars or whatever when you buy it new. It's slightly on the expensive side. I think this is going to run you about 6 to 7 grand, which is, I don't know, not that bad. But then again, it's not cheap either. But for what you get for the money, I think it's perfect. The 2019 one has a keyless ignition, so you've got this dial here. You just put it onto on, open, or off, depending on what you want to do. If you want to open the chair, or if you want to open the lock storage, you need to put it onto open. And yeah, I don't know. It has LEDs on the front, LEDs on the back. It's a pretty sweet ride, man. It's so windy, I'm gonna fall off. So yeah, it's a pretty sweet ride. From a design perspective, I think, and the wind's been blowing stuff away. So from a design perspective, it's a pretty sweet design. I can't fault it on that. It looks really, really good. This is the last time on the Xmax, is because I need to take it back to the shop. Spoke to the guys at the shop. They said that the bike will probably be in for another couple of weeks, so it's going to be about a month and a half by the time I pick my bike up. And they are a bit worried about me putting too much mileage on the courtesy bike, so they want me to take it back in. They're going to give me something else to replace this one and get some mileage on another one, because obviously they want to resell this bike. So yeah, taking the bike back in, let's see what I'm gonna get, and it is what it is. You've got a pretty tall screen on the scooter, which does help quite a lot on the motorway, because all you need to do is just like slightly tuck in, and that's it. Now I'm out of the wind. And when I'm on the motorway doing like long journeys and everything, when, I don't know, you're doing 70 miles an hour, tucking under the screen does really help. And it's not like you need to go into a full tuck and look all weird. All you need to do is just lower your head slightly, and that's it. It does help, it does help. So from a comfort perspective, it beats the bike. From practicality perspective, it does beat the bike again. The only thing where, the only situation where the bike does win is power and filtering, I would say. That's it, nothing else. And yeah, I don't know, fun, I'm kind of on the fence with the fun part, because for as much fun as a bike is to ride at high speeds and rev it, and you've got the loud noise and everything, yes, but this is fun to ride as well. I don't know, it feels like a toy, handles like a toy as well, and I don't know, it's fun to ride. So my conclusion from this is, I would not swap my bike out for a scooter, but what I would do, I would buy an Xmax or a T-Max. I need to try the T-Max as well, but I would buy a scooter, a big one like these, to have as a second bike. So I'd keep my MT-09, I'd keep the bike for I need to go on ride outs, or I don't know, when the weather's nice and all that outside and I want to ride it to work on my commute. But at the same time, I would also have an Xmax or a T-Max for, I don't know, when I need to go out for a quick shop, buy a few things. I don't want to take the car with me. It's a nice day outside. Or even when it's raining, you do get a lot of protection at the front because the bike is wider and you've got the screen as well. So that kind of protects you as well in the rain. But yeah, that being said, my opinion of a scooter is actually really, really positive now. Even if before I was kind of laughing at everyone that had a scooter. I told you my brother-in-law has one. a T-Max, and yeah, I always thought, I don't know, I was a bit on the fence with it, and I thought, nah man, why get a scooter when you can get a bike? But actually, now that I've been on one for a couple of weeks, I've done almost 1,000 miles on it, I kind of get the sense of it. Really, really comfortable. It's a really nice, I don't know, enjoyable ride, I would say. So yeah, unfortunately, have to take it back. I would have kept this one, but yeah, no can do. It's so windy. Stop this, okay.